Hi, welcome to my presentation on the chemistry of kombucha. Okay, so what is kombucha? It's a fermented tea that was created in Northeast China around 220 BC, so it's been around for a really long time. And it's become really popular because it contains vitamins and amino acids that are often associated with health benefits, whether or not those may be real. Kombucha is created through a double fermentation process in which SCOBY, which I'll explain in the next slide, is placed in a sweet tea mixture and left to ferment for 1 to 3 weeks. And then again is fermented, but this time tightly bottled for 1 to 2 weeks. And through this tight sealing of the bottle, CO2 is released but trapped, which promotes the carbonation of the drink. So SCOBY is an acronym which stands for Symbiotic Culture of Bacteria and Yeast. You can see a picture of SCOBY on the right in kombucha, and it forms when acetic acid bacteria and yeast are fermented together. Now, creating SCOBY and especially using it to create kombucha is a very delicate process because too much SCOBY growth can result in the molding of the tea. Not enough growth doesn't allow for fermentation to occur. And just in general, improper sealing, like during the second fermentation process, results in excess growth, which also, again, creates mold. And here's a short little clip.
And acetic acid fermentation. The yeast and the SCOBY are mainly creating alcohol. They produce an enzyme called invertase that breaks apart the sugar, or sucrose, into its smaller sugar components, fructose and glucose.
So yeast from the SCOBY will convert that sugar into carbon dioxide. And as you can see here, it'll be broken down into glucose and fructose. And I circled the glucose specifically because the glucose will be broken down so much it'll eventually produce ethanol and carbon dioxide. And this production of carbon dioxide that gets sealed in the bottle is why kombucha is carbonated. Kombucha is also known for its sour taste. And this sour taste is produced when that ethanol interacts with bacteria from the SCOBY. And this interaction produces acetic acid. And this acetic acid lowers pH. And once your liquid reaches a pH of 4.6 or below, it's now considered kombucha. So that's why kombucha has a sour taste. Here's the chemical equation for fermentation in general and also the fermentation of kombucha. As you can see, these 3 aqueous compounds are what are involved: glucose, ethanol, and CO2. And here I put arrows at the bottom of this image, and all of these images are from that video I showed before, because the process of creating kombucha goes from the left to the right. So this glucose and sucrose interacts with the SCOBY, specifically its bacteria and yeast, and results in the production of ethanol and acetic acid. So kombucha is carbonated and sour. Now, my final, the final question may be like, is it worth drinking kombucha? And as you can see, like the only benefit really, I guess, other than like if you like the taste, is that it may promote a healthy immune system. But there's also lots of negative possible side effects, I guess. And especially kombucha brewed at home leaves a lot of room for human error and contamination. Now, I would probably just stick to drinking water or just buying kombucha, and I have some in-class samples. Okay, thank you.